Introducing Peacock, the new free streaming service from NBC Universal. It's hit movies, current shows, live sports, trending bits, and timeless hits. And that's why you can't not watch. Peacock. Watch for free. Upgrade for more. Stream now at peacocktv.com. Law & Order SVU streaming now.
Are you eating enough California walnuts? Is your mind as sharp as a Santoku knife? If Maria's mother had 3 children and the first child was named April and the second child was named May, what is her third child's name? Did you answer maybe, then no, then some name that wasn't Maria? Maybe it's time to start snacking on walnuts. Research continues to assess the connection between eating walnuts and cognitive performance. So the next time you're at your local Albertsons, grab a bag of California walnuts.
The attempted and actual stranglehold of the left on all of us marches on. Sometimes in the morning, I turn on CNN, the Communist News Network. I want to hear the latest propaganda from Beijing and also from Moscow or wherever, Venezuela, Cuba, doesn't matter. These people are communists. Many of their commentators are members of the Marxian Jewish left. I'm Jewish myself, Messianic. I can say that. But the fact is that now what they're pushing is this Delta variant of COVID-19. And it's going to shut down the economy again. They're suggesting that's going to happen. And what they want is a total destruction of our economy. That's what they're after because they're anti-capitalist, they're anti-freedom. They want to destroy the country so the left can solidify control in a Marxist state. It's clear. CNN, Communist News Network. I have lawsuits pending against CNN for defaming me. Won't be the last. I'll sue them, frankly, whenever I can. They previously defamed our client, America's toughest sheriff, Joe Arpaio, claiming he was a felon when he was only found liable for a misdemeanor, which is like a traffic ticket with regard to trying to enforce the immigration laws. And the only reason he was found liable for a misdemeanor is because we had these rabid judges, federal judges, unelected, unaccountable to the people, that were trying to play politics with the whole situation. So he could not be reelected as sheriff of Maricopa County. So pay close attention. Watch what CNN and others do. They're running interference for the stooges that are now in the White House, the brain dead Joe Biden, the cackling witch Kamala Harris, and the radical leftists that prop them up, to which they seek to curry favor every single day so they can retain power from these radicals. And then, of course, we have social media and big tech continuing to censor people. President Trump apparently brought a lawsuit yesterday, a class action. Whether it's a valid suit or not, I can assure you in federal court, it will not be going forward because no matter who is the judge, whether it's a Democrat-appointed judge or Republican-appointed judge, they are the establishment. They're compromised, if not corrupt. They will not go up against big tech because they fear the blowback from big tech against them. They're worried that they'll be smeared as well. They also probably fear for their lives. I don't advocate any violence against judges. I hope that it'll all be safe. They should be removed legally. But I think they see what happened on January 6th. There was really not violence. It was peaceful. But people have convinced them that they're at risk. And in fact, Jefferson predicted, as I write in my book, It Takes a Revolution, Forget the Scandal Industry, that federal judges and Supreme Court justices, unelected, unaccountable to the people, would become despots and tyrants, causing the American people to shed the blood of patriots and tyrants yet again, adding that a few thousand dead will refresh the tree of liberty. Now, he didn't want to see anybody hurt. Neither do I. No violence. But he was predicting the inevitable. And perhaps the judges have read Jefferson and they know what difficulty they are in because they've become the yes men of the ruling establishment. They are the biggest problem in our country today. Them, bar associations like the New York Bar, the DC Bar, which are composed of vile leftists who never donated the officials even to one Republican for the most part. Today, District of Columbia Bar, which is going after everyone, every conservative lawyer, whether it's Kellyanne Conway or whether it's Larry Klayman or whether it's Josh Hawley, or whether it's Ted Cruz, or whether it's Bill Barr, who's not even really conservative. In fact, they should give him an award, the left. But they don't want us to be able to go into court, even as compromised and corrupt as the federal courts are, and to be able to raise any arguments to try to bring about justice. And that's a fact. This is where we are today. And then let's go back to ESPN, okay, another bastion, I should say, of the left. One of the commentators simply complained that she was knocked off her hosting a show because they went in favor of someone who was Black. Well, we know this is happening today. We know that whites are being discriminated against. If Blacks can claim they're discriminated against, why can't whites? But this is an example of how every aspect of society now is throwing its lot because they think that Biden and Harris and the left that has total control of our government is going to scratch their backs, do them favors, is that they go after this white host, female host, and they suspend her from ESPN, much like Rudy Giuliani's been suspended from the New York and District of Columbia bars. And this is why in the last days, on July 5th and 6th, we held our third Continental Congress. You can watch it at freedomwatchusa.org or crowdsourcethetruth.com. 2 days, about 40 speakers. We discussed whether we should be declaring independence yet again. We have a government that doesn't represent us. We have a society which now bows down to this evil leftist control in government. And as I said, government's necessary for national security, also to help unite the people. But government is not necessary when what it's doing is oppressing the people. And that's what's happening now. And that's why we now have to rise up peacefully and legally in ways of second American Revolution, as we commenced on July 4th, 1776, in my hometown of Philadelphia, and the birthplace of liberty, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Our third Continental Congress was held in the Visitor Center of Independence Hall with the backdrop of that hallowed ground. I have proposed, and we're going to have a follow-up session where the delegates deliberate and decide what to do. I have proposed that we remove the Capitol from Washington, D.C. and take it back to Philadelphia, put it in Independence Hall. We don't need all these government buildings. We don't need all these government programs. We don't need a huge bureaucracy, a deep state to control our lives. We, the American people, need to know what to do. As long as we have a sitting Army, Navy, Marine Corps, and Air Force, we'll be fine. As long as we have some protection for the poor and the mentally and physically infirm, we'll be okay. But right now, I would say 90% of the people in Washington are occupying space, time, and wasting our taxpayer dollars. And overwhelmingly, they're leftists. Overwhelmingly, they agree what's going on today. They have secure jobs. They don't care. They get to work late. When they get there, they read the newspaper and eat coffee and donuts. They do little to nothing, frankly. They're like the Walking Dead. In fact, on my website, if you look, I have a little screenshot or a little clip of the Walking Dead zombies. If you ever walk around DC in government areas, you'll see there's a lot of familiarity. This is where we are, fellow patriots, ladies and gentlemen. We have a government that no longer represents the American people, only represents the radical left. They've seized control. We have a Republican Party that's all but dead, that doesn't even push back. In fact, just yesterday, the Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, pretty boy, Kevin McCarthy, who apparently lives with Frank Luntz in Washington, D.C. I don't know what they're doing in their condo, but something obviously is happening. This guy has thrown his lot now with the Democrats that want to investigate January 6th. You know what? If you look for the reasons for January 6th, look at the congressmen and senators in Congress. Look at the deep state and the executive branch that threw Trump under the bus. Look to the judges who rubber stamped and who are threatening people, who simply rose up peacefully on January 6th, putting them in prison without bail, some of them in solitary confinement. One of them, a judge that I used to admire, Royce Lamberth, has gone crazy, in effect threatening the American people. and he's a Republican and was appointed by Reagan. They're part of the establishment. They don't get to be judges unless they play the game. That's a fact. They're not revolutionaries. They don't stand in the stead for the American people. They stand in the stead for themselves. And that's the problem. We, the American people, need to rise up, not just on behalf of ourselves, but on behalf of the vision and creation of our founding fathers, and renew liberty and justice to this country. And that's why I want you to watch carefully. We had over 30 delegates and speakers. I think it was closer to 40 at our Third Continental Congress. Listen to what they have to say. Listen to the abuse of government. Listen to what they've done to destroy our lives and want to continue to do so. So watch the Third Continental Congress at freedomwatchusa.org. Read my book, It Takes a Revolution, Forget the Scandal Industry, which gives a peaceful and legal means to reclaim our nation from the dead. We are, frankly, on our backs right now. We're gasping for air. Get up off the couch. Put the scotch and soda down. Put the cigar down. Put the pizza down, or whatever you're munching as you watch and are entertained by Sean Hannity with the same old monologue every night. Do something. It's not enough to be entertained. It's time to save our country. God bless you. God bless your family. Remember that the Father and Son will only help us if we help ourselves. Thank you for listening to me. I'll be back tomorrow with another special podcast. Until then, stay safe.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
My dad used to say that.
Sure, yeah. It's from Geico.
Yeah, whenever I would ask my dad for life advice, he'd sit me down and say, son, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more. And look at me now, a well-adjusted adult with a drawer full of plastic bags I'll never use.
Okay, I'm confused. Was your dad a licensed Geico agent?
Nah, he was just a real good dad.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
It's Black Friday in July, and the prices are hotter than ever at JCPenney. Shop thousands of deals for everyone under the sun and use your coupon to save an extra 30%. That means incredible prices on family favorites like select young men's Arizona tees for $4.19 each and select women's shorts for $9.09 each. If you like to cook, bring home a Cook's 3.7 quart air fryer for just $44.99. Shop the hottest savings of summer. JCPenney. Prices reflect after coupon savings. Offers and coupon valid through 7/11. Exclusions apply. Air fryer limited to 10% off coupon. See store or jcp.com for details.
The Home Depot's the #1 name in outdoor power. But when it comes to cordless power, we also pack quite a punch. With the latest mowers, blowers, trimmers, and more from brands like Ryobi, DeWalt, Toro, Milwaukee, and Makita. They all pack the power of gas with the hassle-free convenience of cordless. It's a good time to be a doer with the best names in cordless power. All in one place, only in one place. The Home Depot. How doers get more done. U.S. only.